Yo, what's up, what's up? So, I will show you today the build I thoroughly crafted on stream. No basic skill, and no Fortify, and full berserk uptime. And let me tell you, it's really wild. And it's basically upgrade to my previous version, which I will link right up top in the corner. It's pretty crazy. I basically changed Rapture, and I got me Steel Grasp. The attack speed from Rapture is very nice, but the berserk uptime is just much better. And you can still get some very strong bases we have as barbarians for berserk in the tree, which I don't have in this video. I might pick them in the future. I haven't really tested them, but those are very good, so you can upgrade the build even more. Now, I tested both Unbridled Rage, I tested even Unconstrained and Gushing Wounds. And obviously, Unbridled Rage is the highest damage increase since we're using double core skill setup. But if you don't have enough sustain, I will talk about it later. Then you're totally fine to use Gushing Wounds or even Unconstrained. It's very good. The damage is still there, so this is my footage from today's stream. I hate this lightning storm. It's horrible in Nightmare Dungeons. Set you back. But very surprised. The tankiness, it's kind of interesting though. I lost DR from Fortified, right, in this setup. But I'm way more tankier than before. It's pretty crazy. So it even allowed me to go with one offensive perk, affix I mean, on the chest piece, which is damage when you swap weapons. I have that on Amulet as well. So with Mortal Draw, I have around 200% damage when I swap weapons. And we basically, weapon swap on every skill. We do back and forth, HotA and double swing. So we go with from 200 mace, which is HotA, to dual wield, which is double swing. Almost ripped there. It's also not the ideal dungeon. We got bears, we got melee ghosts, and archers too. There were even thorn beasts earlier there. And we're also using Azurath for that freeze is very nice. It procs very often. I feel like they made it work now with Barber because it didn't used to work before, but nothing does. But anyways, Barbarian is very strong because of the Berserk Ripping aspect and Barber. In the latest patch, the big one, they made change or they fixed Bleed working with Barber now. Almost died there because no shout. But so basically any build with Barbarian is strong because of Berserk Ripping and Barber. But I did run this build without Berserk Ripping because I was not running Berserk, which is also in the video that I linked earlier in the upper corner. So it still works just fine, but the Berserk Ripping is just another, how they call it, cherry on top, right? Cherry on the cake. And yeah, Berserk Ripping Barber interaction is mainly for bosses, endgame bosses, because they have a lot of HP. All these mobs are basically one tap, they die immediately, so Berserk Ripping doesn't even double dip or stack that much with Barber on these low HP mobs. But I was very surprised with the tankiness with this setup. Very, very pleased with it too. The damage almost doubled to my previous previous build. Not gonna lie, it's pretty wild. But the only disadvantage of this build, it's pretty hard to play, I would say, because Hammer of the Ancients has this aspect with Quake. Now, if you don't center that Quake, or I mean that HotA damage on the target, if you just move a bit, a couple of centimeters away from the target gets damaged by the Quake aspect, which is not by far the same damage as the skill itself. And because of that, having a longer range than double swing is more of the close range. You need to have a good eye and center or be in the right position from the target that you're fighting. And yeah, just that's all about practice. Now, what is this? Am I dual wielding? Am I two-handing dual wield? A Roman is even flying, man. Holy, some Star Wars action going. But I'll show you the least bait of this dungeon. I believe I will go for last boss after these elites. So we're gonna take a look how it performs on the boss as well. The Berserk procs, we don't have Rupture. I feel like the Barber and Berserk Ripping aspect proc better if you have a bleed like Rupture. And I believe I had a wrong technique. I think I was running 200 sword for bleed, which is not what we want. We want to go for it with 200x for the vulnerability. Because vulnerable is the most important offensive affix in this game. Gives you the most damage. Then crit damage, main stat, or all stats. And then it will be core skill / close damage. Close enemies. This is Bramble, doesn't do any damage. Also, I feel like changing Shout and Iron Skin because of the aspect is a must-have in tier 100s for any Barbarian build. Because it allows you to go for more offensive affixes on items and whatnot. And this target is already long dead, but the bleed is taken slowly. But yeah, this was the run tier 100. No death, no problem at all. And I'm not even running Revenge Heart for Malignant as most barbarians. I don't think that's necessary. But first things first, we go with the weapon skills. Skill tree, I mean. Excuse me. Oh, not that. Excuse me. Misclick. So first 2 points, it doesn't matter. We don't use basic skills, but we need to put 2 points somewhere to unlock core skills. So no, we're not using this. People still ask me, why do I put 2 points in here? Because we need to unlock this. So maxed out Hammer of the Ancients and Double Swing. We go with Violent Double Swing for vulnerability. We use the gem that knocks down mobs on the ground, which we get the Fury refund. Even more so if you get resource generation on rings. Then HotA upgrade. This is amazing for even more Fury generation. Gives you 30% of more Fury for 5 seconds. So any Fury generator like Weapon Swap or Rallying Cry, stuff like that, killing mobs gives you more Fury. And then more, the more we are stacking Max Fury because we're using this for HotA, and we're also using Ramaladni, which also requires Max Fury. Goes both, hand in hand. Rallying Cry, the basic for a generator. We go max HP in here. If you're struggling with survivability against elites, you can even put 3 points in here. Iron Skin, amazing stuff for healing right here. Barb is amazing passive for healing. I really recommend going for those. It makes your tankiness so much better. Stacking max HP for even more barrier. But it's mainly for the aspect we have on armor. I will show you in a bit. Challenging Shout for DR, max HP again. You can see the combination here. Max HP scaling barrier from Iron Skin. And then we get Fury up on damage taken from Challenging Shout. We are making our Challenging Shout last 24/7. There is no downtime if you leave at least one mob alive with that haunt icon above its headpiece. Above its head, above its HP bar. Because we're stacking CC duration on the gear and the aspects. Movement speed to be Speedy Gonzalez. Very good for speedrunning. I might focus on that. Booming Voice, amazing passes for shouts. We are getting this Garel Yell. This is single-handedly one of the best defensive passives, if you will. So ideally, you would want to rotate shouts, these 2 shouts, but not really necessary. Ray Leader for HP, for healing. The heal I was talking about is first barrier. Sorry, Iron Skin is healing us. Ray Leader is healing us, and then Integrated Fury is also healing us if we spend Fury. And we spend Fury a lot, right? 2 of these skills are with this current setup. 37, 52, 89, if I'm not mistaken. I'm fried after the gym, but here we go. So yeah, it procs fairly often. With the amount of attack speed, we have up to, if we have roughly 150% attack speed on Double Swing and 140% on the HotA, which is just insane. It's cracked. The passives I was talking about, since we have non-stop uptime Berserker, you could put points here in more DR if you struggle. I might go for that. But even more so in this Fury generation if you're struggling with that. And I plan to maybe ditch Valop. Now this is getting us some nice damage for HotA, but it's only for HotA, right? 15% damage. As you could see, we don't struggle with damage, so I might even drop Valop and go with Prolific Fury. But we'll see about that. Because sometimes with Unbridled Rage, if you don't have enough resource generation on rings, you might be running out of Fury on single target, those endgame bosses. If you don't proc or trigger the stagger on boss, then you can just spam your life away with Double Swing because it costs nothing when the boss is staggered. We go with Steel Grasp for vulnerable and Berserk here. This is our Berserk trigger. And we make our Berserk last non-stop thanks to this aspect. If you damage enemy with core skill, you have a chance to proc or, make your Berserk duration longer. 2 seconds. It's even 4 seconds if you crit chance, if you crit strike. And only Barber crits, so we gotta wait for that. So ideally, you would probably want to go for like... Actually, no, it doesn't matter. So it's 4 second, making this 4 second long. So you can get 4 second lasting Barber. I got 2.9. Was this? We got Duelist for attack speed with Double Swing. We are maxing out all these passes because they're very good. So Max Fury, again, goes well with HotA. With this passive once again for more damage, and goes hand in hand with the Ramaladni here, because the more Fury you have, the more damage you do with this weapon, with the skills with these weapons. And as you can see, I still did not get the upgraded version because after the latest patch, Ramaladni gives you vulnerable damage instead of physical, and I'm still rocking 0.2%. So the damage, if I get 0.3% with vulnerable instead of physical, will also skyrocket. We go with, this is our first Fury generator. If we weapon swap, we get 6 Fury. We are weapon swapping on every single skill. And again, with resource generation on rings, as you can see that affix, it all gets amplified. And as well with Rallying Cry, which also gives you fury generation, so resource generation by 40%. So we're almost looking like almost at 100% fury generation, which is wild. Here for HotA, but these are changeable. You can even go with heavy-handed for crit damage, but this one kind of diminishes if you have a lot of crit damage, which we do have a lot. Because we also have Paragon board for crit damage, so it's pretty wild. Like with dual wield, we have like 450 whatever. With the 200, we have like almost 400%. And then we go with Unbridled Rage. So these 3 points, I'm thinking of putting them in like this for more generation, but it's up to you really. It's up to you. So those were the skills. We are gonna take a look at the Paragon board right now. Running 6 boards. First one is Exploit. I take all the rare nodes very low on requirements. Next up, we got Weapon Master for armor, and we have Martial Glyph to give bonus to magic nodes, which is armor. And very important, the number one important thing in damage reduction calculation and formula. This gets calculated first, so you want to stack up with armor. The cap for tier 100 armor dungeons is 13,000 armor, but I don't even have that. I was at 11.2 or 3,000 armor in that video. I don't even run armor potions, so we could be even more tankier. I was running attack speed potion. And here we go with the passives for attack speed. We're actually taking the attack speed nodes on both boards, which this one is first. Next board, we have a Decimator. We are running a Might for bonus to magic nodes, but also damage to 200 weapons, which goes to HotA. We take these vulnerable damage, the most important offensive stat. Armor nodes here. Next down here, we have a Warbringer. We go with Max Fury here for the damage for HotA and Ramaladni, because it gives us some HP as well, very important too. Glyph, we have Mortal Draw, one of the best glyphs for Barbarian, gives us a lot of damage, but also crit chance, which is not in reality 18%, because the more crit chance you have, the less you get, because it diminishes in return. Because the multiplier, just like any other stat, just like the crit damage from heavy-handed. We have more passives here for the Max Fury. I do have right now 183 Fury. I had 180. Not sure I got 3 from. I'm not sure. I think I got head upgrade. Headpiece upgrade. That's it. Alright, next board we have Flawless Technique. One of my favorite ones because we get a lot of crit damage. Global crit damage. And then we have crit damage with one-handers. And that's why we do have Ambidextrous to buff magic nodes. But also for the DR from closed. Very important. And here we get DR from vulnerable enemies. Good stuff. We have 200 armor, important node because that's one of the only ones that gives us 200 armor. Up top we go attack speed, like I told you. Gives us damage with one-handed weapons, so very good for dual wield, for double swing. And last board we have a Bone Breaker with a Wrath Glyph. Amazing stuff. Another generator. Crit strikes give us Fury, which is Barber. So we could even run 2-second Barber if you want to practice more often. And then one of my favorite nodes is max HP and armor. That's why I have so much life and so much armor without any potions or any shouts, any buffs. I'll show you now with changing shout. I'm at 22,252. If we get potion for HP, we could go up to 26,000, which is just cracked. But I was running attack speed. More to that later. So this is the Paragon board. We'll take a look at the expertise. So running 200x with the vulnerable damage, 15%. And with swords, this is also another generator that I forgot to mention in one of my other videos. If you kill a CC enemy, which we have non-stop CC, then we get attack speed for 3 seconds. This is 30% attack speed because we have 2 swords, but we have also chance to get fury when hitting a CC enemy. And I believe I'm not even running this on this build, but you can even put hamstring on enemies because this is actually pretty good. A lot of people think that after the nerf it's bad, but with the Barber, if you're running Barber, that is, all the damage you do to the target is still full HP until this gem expires, right? Until it explodes. So for the duration of the Barber, the enemy is slowed, aka CC'd, and you can trigger all these conditions with CC enemy non-stop. But anyways, this is very good. Yeah, that's why with Azurath, the freeze procs pretty often. That's a CC, so this procs very often. You have 2 swords, so this lucky hit is doubled, and you have a chance to get Fury, so that's very nice. Energy generator is also Ramaladni. We have a chance of getting primary resource, which procs hella often. Once again, because our attack speed is just through the roof, this is 50% almost unbuffed with double swing. Crazy. Just crazy. So this was weapon mastery. Let's go over the gear now, right? So CC duration already explained. That's the shout. That's why we make our challenge shout last non-stop. Maximum fury for the damage. You could go with HP instead for survivability, for tankiness. Total armor, cooldown reduction, most important stuff. Now we go with this aspect, Relentless Berserker, to make our Berserker last 24/7. Chest piece, we have the Iron Skin aspect. Amazing stuff, gives us Unstoppable, which is CC immunity. So we have Unstoppable from Rallying Cry and Iron Skin. So you cannot really get CC'd if you are careful with rotating it. I basically almost always save Iron Skin when I'm CC'd. Now we have Total Armor, DR Close, and LDR. Those are the 3 affixes I recommend for any build on chest piece, also on pants. And then 4th one, I got the damage with swap to new weapon. Damage with skills that swap to new weapons. I'm missing 20% on this one because it's the lowest roll, sadly, but still 30% is crazy. Combine it with Mortal Draw and with this amulet where we have 46.5%. That's like I said earlier, that's almost 200% increased damage when we swap weapons, which we do back and forth non-stop. Wild. Next up we got gloves, so plus damage, plus attack speed, crit chance, HotA, and double swing. I got pretty lucky with this one, 800 item power as well. We have Berserk Whipping here. We are non-stop berserking. This is inflicting bleed. Also, bleed gets your faster stacks on disobedience, which gets me to enter piece pants. Here we have all DR close, and total armor, like I mentioned. You basically want to mirror these 2 pieces. No matter what affixes you like the most, you want to go for. Some people like to go with Challenging Shout on the headpiece, on the chest piece. If you like Fortify, you could go with DR from Fortified or Wild Fortified, same with pants. But I did go with HP. That's what I had in my storage. Sadly, it could be higher roll. I could get even more HP, like even way higher. It's crazy. But it's what it is. Disobedience on pants. We don't need to get it on amulet. We just have enough armor with that. No problem. No biggie. The boots here, I think this is the best combination. We're running willpower to hit those nodes in Paragon board. As you can see, this is 620 willpower and this one is 630 even. So willpower also gives you a lot of resource generation. As you can see, 19% from willpower itself. That's just like another ring, right? So I'm way over 100% resource generation with Rallying Cry. It's crazy. I know I said a lot, but it really is. Trust me. Exploder aspect, more CC duration, but also damage to unstoppable enemies because elites are unstoppable. Or there are affixes where mobs are unstoppable, like here. When they drop below 30%, they're unstoppable, meaning you cannot CC them. So it comes in handy. 40% is a lot of damage. Max AoE charges, important, the most important affix, or sorry, implicit on boots. You could also go with the cooldown reduction when you attack a mob. The cooldown reduction of 8, you could go with that too. But they are injured, movement speed, fury cost reduction, that's what you want to get. Missing 1% fury cost reduction, which is kind of crucial on these 2. And I forgot to keybind my HotA. This is my left click, by the way. So 200 weapons now. We have Mace 814. This is our HotA weapon. And I was so lucky with this one. Oh my god. So strength, all stats, vulnerable, crit damage. I would like to get core skill instead of strength, but it is what it is. So I could maybe even upgrade that one. I'm gonna see if there is a difference. But it's hard to get. HotA Quake, they even buffed it in the latest patch, so good stuff. Air 200, we have the... this one we used for Rupture, but I believe I have a better stat stick with higher rolls, but core skill, vulnerable, crit damage, all stats, I would like to get on both 200s. We go accelerating aspect. Now this aspect does not count towards attack speed cap, so you can go way over 100%. That's why I end up with 150% on double swing, on dual wield, or 140 on HotA. Green gems for crit damage. Ezreath here for attack speed node. Attack speed affix. Core skill damage, pretty good. Those 2 other affixes, non-physical damage to CC is very low, so those are very useless. So not the best, but the freeze is pretty good. Procs fairly often with the attack speed we have. Damage, it does, not even sure how much it is because it's minimal. Another one is Ramaladni. Pretty good item power, but like I mentioned, no vulnerable instead of physical, which is buffed after latest patch. Got good damage to close enemies, and with dual wield weapons, it's pretty good. But the lucky to restore primary resource is very good. We go over our jewelry ring here, Unrelenting Fury. This was also buffed, amazing, especially against bosses. As you can see here, killing an enemy or hitting a boss with a core skill refunds of its base fury cost. Lovely. We go with Attempting Fate, a gem, which gives us great damage. This is so good on Barbarian, because Barbar always procs, as always crits, I mean. I know a lot of Barbs are going for Revenge Gem. I don't think it's needed for the R. As you can see, we are very tanky. I was not even running Armor Potion or HP Potion, so not needed at all. You're actually losing out on a lot of damage. Here we have the Knockdown Gem. Important thing. This gem also procs on Steel Grasp, so while the mobs are flying to you, they're already knocked down, so you can start spamming Double Swing at Refund, and you can start your rotation with back and forth these two core skills. Max HP, Crit Chance, Resource Vulnerable. I run this on both rings on this setup because we don't have HP on the headpiece. Normally I would run only one, like on my charge build Barbarian. We go with Bolt Chieftain, that's a mandatory thing to get. I had a high roll Bolt Chieftain, not sure what it is, somewhere around here. I need to change it. And our amulet here, I paid 1 billion today for this one in an auction. But if you're wondering, by the way, why do I have so much gold? I happened to sell an amulet for 2.5 billion. And then a day before that, a 200 mace for 1 billion. People wanted it a lot, I guess. So cooldown reduction, high roll. Fury cost reduction is not that high. It's like mid roll. So I'm missing like overall 3%, 4% free cost reduction combined with the boots. So kind of meh. Movement speed could be higher. I might spend some gold, which will be a lot actually. That'll be hell expensive. For more movement speed, but it's what it is. Damage with skills that swap to new weapons. Amazing stuff. Combined with Mortal Draw and Chest Piece once again. And then we go with Smiting Aspect, which gives us more CC duration on Challenging Shout, but all CC goes with the freeze as well from the Azurath, so freeze lasts for a lot longer than 3 seconds. And also Barber, I'm testing out 2.9 seconds. I have 4 seconds on my charge Barbarian, but on bosses you would want to get 4 seconds to store more damage. Or 3.1 seconds, someone said is the best combination. I haven't really tested it. I haven't really seen any tests with Barbers, so I guess whatever you can get. I got level 5 gems in every... Okay, I don't have this one, level 5. But going from level 4 to level 5, these gems, it's quite a lot of armor increase. As you can see, 30 armor here, 35, which gets amplified because of the percentage armor here. But yeah. Consumables, you have many options. You can go with max HP here. You can go with armor potion here, which is probably most people use because they have a problem with armor. But once again, you could see it's fine without that. I was using attack speed, that was assault elixir in the video. I don't have it anymore because that was the last one. I need to craft some. And I believe that was it. So I'm live every day on Twitch. There's gonna be a link in the comment section down below. I also have a Patreon, so any support is welcome. I'm trying to do this full time. It's kind of rough these days for Diablo 4 because on Twitch the viewership dropped a lot. People are taking a break, waiting for next season. There is not much to do unless you're an addict like me and want to test more builds and more classes. Also work on Necromancer. And also Discord link will be in the description. But if you do decide to support me, thank you and thank you very much. Also, thank you very much for watching. You guys have a good luck finding these items. Let me know if you have any questions. Hit me up everywhere. I will try to respond. And as always, have a good one and take it easy. Peace.